goes out to my paranoid big sis Zip. I know you're feeling like welcome to my channel. Number one victory royale. Yeah,
I'm gonna be all up in those feet.
10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out tomato town.
Hey everybody! Did you miss me? No? It's only been like a week or two, but you know, I'm still here! Now you may be asking yourself, yo, where's the next Equestria Girls video? Give me Equestria Girls! And to that I say, yes, it is coming. Don't worry, you will get the next Equestria Girls video. But, just like with everything in life, patience is key. Patience is a virtue. But for those of you in the back who are like, hey, I don't like ponies. When are you gonna talk about the not pony girls? Well, I'm glad you asked, random person in the back, because I've got you covered. The video after this one will be a regular, normal movie review. So, TLDR, Friendship Games video is coming. Enjoy this content while you wait, because, oh boy, I have to mentally prepare myself for those next two movies. Oh my god. Channel update / disclaimer of the video over. On to the video. My Little Pony Generation 5. Where do we begin? There's been a lot of debate going on about this new generation of My Little Pony, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's even worth continuing at all after Generation 4, one of the most successful versions of My Little Pony to this day. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is not only a show important to bronies across the globe, but was alongside many other shows during that time period, during the 2010 so-called cartoon renaissance, if you will. Quality classic shows like Adventure Time, The Amazing World of Gumball, Regular Show, Gravity Falls, Young Justice, The Looney Tunes Show, Lego Ninjago, Masters of Spin Jitsu, DC Superhero. No, I'm joking. But please watch DC Superhero Girls. That show is a masterpiece. Whatever the fuck Ben 10 was doing at the time. Hell, even shows like these, along with My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, were in its prime, and not only gave quality animation, but gave quality entertainment to young children watching at home. But then people started to question, will Friendship is Magic continue forward? Will this new series even hold a candle to the success that Generation 4 had? Will this new series capture the same vibe, energy, writing, execution that Friendship is Magic had? But today, I'm gonna give my quick thoughts on My Little Pony Generation 5. But first, let's start things off with the movie that started it all, My Little Pony: A New Generation. My Little Pony: A New Generation is honestly just an okay start. It's the definition of fine, serviceable, average. It's what I expected a new generation of My Little Pony to be like. But before I get too deep into things, let me start off with how this movie looks first, because honestly, this movie looks stunning. To the large cityscapes, to the large, beautiful, lush vistas, and with the animation being so smooth like butter and so effortless, making this one of the most beautiful looking movies I've ever seen on the channel so far. You can tell the animation team went all out on this one, because this movie is honestly drop dead gorgeous. But yeah, beautiful looking movie, absolutely fantastic. But what I don't find fantastic are the plot and the characters. Now, I don't think the plot is like necessarily bad. I just think that it's generic and bland. While I do like these movies taking an approach to racism, equality, and different economic classes, I do really think that this is average. Nothing really blew me away about this plot. I knew at the end of the day that Sunny and her friends would unite everyone and bring the three lands back together. But I don't know, make it more engaging for the audience? Because while yes, I was watching the movie, I just felt like it was on autopilot. Maybe that's just me being jaded, but I don't know. Nothing really exciting happens. I mean, things happen and there are some moments, but like, it just seems underdeveloped. And what's also underdeveloped is Sprout, the villain of the movie. Because if I'm gonna be honest with you, there's nothing else to say about Sprout other than he's just boring. He's lame. He grew up with a racist mother and was indoctrinated not only by his parents to think this way, but the society he lives in. And while yes, I do feel like this reflects on real life, how this is a real occurrence that happens, this is not one of MLP's strong suits, nor is it one of MLP's better villains, let's just say. Also, while we're on the subject of characters, finally let's talk about the characters in this film, because honestly, they're honestly a mixed bag. There's the main character, Sunny, which, you know, is the main character, but she's likable enough. She gets a pass in my books. Then we got Hitch, you know. I'll tell you this, I like Hitch better in this movie and literally nothing else he's in, cause oh boy. Then we have Izzy, which I think is also pretty okay as well. She's a great introduction to unicorns in this universe. She's fun, energetic, likable, loud, weird, and bounces off of Sunny's character pretty well in the first half of the movie. Then we have Zip. I like Zip. Zip is okay. She's obviously the tomboy of the group, but I think that she fits her role perfectly fine. Then we have Pip.
I so wish I had live streamed that.
I fucking despise this character. But we'll get more into that once we talk about Make Your Mark. So yeah, I think that these new batch of characters, or the main 5 we're calling it now, Jesus Lord, are okay enough, and I think can be expanded upon in future installments of this series, right? Yeah, they expand on these characters, alright. So to sum up my thoughts on the MOPG5 movie, I think it's an okay start to this generation, and has a lot of potential to grow into something new, fresh, original, that the franchise desperately needs at this point in time. Again, with this movie kicking off the new generation of My Little Pony, has a lot of potential to grow into something, if executed properly, to be on the same level as its predecessor, if not even better. Now, do they take the ball with this concept and they roll with it?
Mark magic is combining? What filter is that?
It's not a filter. It's
Twilight Sparkle.
No, they fucking don't. Please help me. This is so terrible. Fuck no, baby. My Little Pony Make Your Mark is a Netflix series that debuted on May 26, 2020 of last year. This Netflix series started off with a 44-minute special, with the other 8 episodes and a Christmas special airing later that said year. So yeah, this series is supposed to be the main show for the new generation, Generation 5. It also heavily piggybacks off of the first movie, My Little Pony A New Generation. Now, as I'm recording this, the series is not finished yet, but what I can do is tell you what I think so far of the series. So whatever criticisms I may have about the show currently right now may change for the better or worse, depending on whether the new episodes come out, and which leads into one of my first points about Make Your Mark. Everything moves so fucking slow. In the first episode or special, they have to make a festival. They're preparing for a big festival at Maritime Bay. Now, I wouldn't have an issue with them dicking around, throwing parties, festivals, hanging out with each other, exploring their daily lives, because this is what the foundation of MOPG4 was built off of. This show, on the other hand, has zero sense of direction whatsoever, or if it does, it's taking forever to get to the point. But with series pacing issues aside, let's actually talk about the show and how it looks, because maybe it will be good as the movie's animation, maybe it will be somewhat decent. Spoiler alert, it's not. When I actually first saw the show on Netflix and was watching it for the first time, I was like, you know what, this show doesn't look too bad. It looks halfway decent. But then I started to pay attention to how characters move and interact with each other, and honestly, it's so inconsistent. Maybe it's just me, but for 1 second the animation will be normal and then ramp up for like 2 seconds and then come back down to normal speeds. Again, that could just be me, but the animation throughout the entire show, not just the first episode, is so inconsistent with itself. But I should have knew coming in the animation was gonna be lower quality and this whole show was gonna be lower budget as a whole. So with animation out the way, let's move on to something else. Oh, I know, we can talk about the characters. Maybe the character writing and the story can maybe save the series from being drab and be somewhat interesting to watch. But sad to say that these versions of these characters in Gen 5 are pretty downgraded from the movie, if you ask me. Let's talk about Sunny first, because honestly, she's the character I have the least to say about. She's pretty much one-to-one from her movie counterpart and is pretty much faithful to how she acts from the movie in the show. There is one issue in one of the episodes that Sunny gets a mirror for her birthday, and the main villain of the series, Opaline, tries to trick her to joining her side because Opaline thinks that 2 alicorns are better than 1 and that Sunny should just join because reasons, and she just goes along with it because I don't know, she's stupid now. Then we have Hitch. Hitch is pretty bad, not as bad as some other characters in the show that we'll talk about in a bit, but I feel like he's just dumb to be dumb. They do give his character her a baby dragon and he becomes a dragon dad, which, oh, I have to talk about this baby character. And look, I'm not gonna be one of those people who were like, oh, baby character, child character shit, cause they can't add to the plot. I don't give a shit. It's a fucking baby. While I understand people's hatred towards this baby character, at the end of the day, I can't get too mad because it's just a baby character. It doesn't talk. It's just a baby. What else is there to say? So yeah, Hitch is pretty much a himbo character in the show now. Then we have Izzy. Izzy is pretty okay. She's the lol quirky XD random humor girl, which if you don't like those characters already, I completely understand why you would hate this character. I think that Izzy can be a bit much at some points, but I think she's pretty fine. But I think for the most part, Izzy is okay and faithful to her movie counterpart. Then we have Zip, and while I do appreciate the first episode diving into her character, explaining why she doesn't want to be queen just yet, I feel like they gave her a random detective gimmick for no reason. So basically she gets a detective gimmick and it's just not, it's not good. I feel like it's underdeveloped or saved for the Tell Your Tale series on YouTube. I mean, like, it's interesting and something new to add to a pony character like this, but giving her this detective type gimmick, I don't feel like it's connecting nor works at all. I never got from the movie that she wanted to be a detective character. In the movie, she just wanted to fly. But yeah, I think that Zip's character in Make Your Mark is not as bad as some other characters in the show, but it's just odd. It's not bad, it's just odd. But what I can tell you is the worst character in the show by far is fucking Pip. This then leads into my next half point in this video that I want to make. It is that I hate how they modernized MLP. Pip in the show is a social media influencer and a singer, and I fucking hate it. Every time this character talks, opens her mouth, makes a song, does literally anything, I want to go to my kitchen, grab the nearest kitchen knife, and commit unspeakable war crimes. This character adds zero to the plot. Matter of fact, anything in general, to be honest with you. Hell, they even talk about shadow banning in MLP? What fucking show am I watching?
Oh my hoofness. What if I've been shadow banished? I don't know what that means, but it sounds ominous. Thank you, Jazz.
Shadow banishing is when your content gets blocked to viewers. I mean, it has to be that, right? There can't be any other explanation.
Who the fuck is writing this? Now, I understand that this is a new generation and younger children are watching this show now, which is totally fine. I always have to remind myself, and everybody else has to remind themselves as well, that this show is catered towards young children. That this series at the end of the day is meant for children. But like, do we need to pander to the youth this much? It feels like every episode they have to throw in some social media reference like HoofTube, Clip Talk. Pip is the main proponent of this issue that I have with the series, and it's just immersion breaking. Her being a social media influencer not only harms the show, but harms the entire franchise, including the movie too. So like I said, Pip is the worst character. She's just the worst. There's no need for her to be this annoying. A social media influencer. People don't need to have phones in MLP. And yeah, I think that's all the characters, or at least the main 5 that is. So all in all, the characters in the show and the character writing, it's just ass. Now with that out the way, let's finally talk about the story of the MLP Make Your Mark as briefly as possible, because I can't take this shit anymore. And if I skip over some details or not talk about a certain episode in full length, it's cause honestly, I don't give a shit. So starting off, episode 1, Make Your Mark. So to sum up this episode takes place directly right after the events of the first movie, My Little Pony: A New Generation. All the races now are living in harmony and they're all together now, and they can all use magic now. Yes, we'll get to that part later, but something's off. Every time the ponies argue or they get into a scuffle, the crystals start to glitch and everything goes haywire. This ultimately causes glitches at the festival and everybody's in disarray. Nah, but don't worry, Sunny the Alicorn's here to save the day with their magic bullshit, I don't know. So after everybody gets saved by Sunny the perfect alicorn, they then revealed that Earth ponies now have magic, which I don't know how I feel about that, but it's pretty dumb. But I guess Okay, I guess. At least it's something to talk about in this series. Also, this is where we get introduced to the series' main villain, Opaline and Misty. And right off the bat, this character design looks fucking terrible. It's awful. But yeah, my thoughts on Opaline and Misty. I don't like Opaline. She's just like a Saturday morning cartoon villain. Again, this could all change. This could all change throughout the series as it goes along. But as of right now, she's pretty generic and bland. Misty, on the other hand, I feel like has potential. But yeah, that's episode 1. It starts off pretty slow, but picks up towards the end. I don't know. You could say it definitely didn't make its mark. Get it? I want to die. Now, as for the rest of the episodes, they just all blend together. I'm just gonna be completely honest. So I'm just gonna speed through these. If I miss something, I don't care. Chapter 2, episode 1, Izzy does it. So in this episode, Izzy makes Sunny a hair accessory and everybody wants it in town. But Izzy can't keep up with people's demands, so she makes a creativity truck or some shit. I don't fucking care. Moving on. Episode 2, Growing Pains. So in this episode, Earth Pony magic is going crazy and Hitch decides to put a stop to it. He decides that everyone should stop using Earth Pony magic so that way it doesn't get too out of control. But after his failed attempts, he tries to go to the 3 crystals to try to take the Earth Pony crystal out of the equation. His friends are like, no, stop, but then he quickly decides not to take it. After he decides to not follow through with his plan, Twilight Sparkle comes out of the crystal. I can't make this up. Oh. I don't have time to rant about this because, but like, why is she here in this show? Why is she here? Why? And this is one of my issues with G5 as a whole. It doesn't need to latch on to Generation 4. Make something new. Why does Twilight need to be thrown into the episode? Because the nostalgia. Bro, please move on and make something better. But yeah, this episode fucking sucks. Episode 3, A Portrait of a Princess. It's a Pip episode, so automatically nothing happens. Pip and Zip get stuck in a cave and get saved by some annoying children at the end of the episode, so nothing fucking happens. Moving on. Episode 4, Aliconed. Aliconed? I don't care. Sunny is telling everybody they should eat more healthier and eat more vegetables, but nobody will listen to her unless she's in her alicorn state. Gee, I wonder who this show is made for again. Not only did I realize that this is one of the worst episodes in the series by far, not only because Pip is in it, but she's babysitting Sparky, trying to get her views back on her TikTok page again, so you know this shit is gonna be ass. Well, would you look at that, we're halfway through and I already wanna die. This show is so boring. Episode 5, the Cutie Mark mix-up. So in this episode, Sunny and Hitch get into an argument. They say that each other's lives is harder than it really is. So what does Sparky do? He switches their cutie marks and makes them switch places for it. I don't care. Also, Opaline sends in like a magic rat to go into the lighthouse to get the magic lantern. What? I don't even remember what the lantern does again, and nor do I want to know what it does. I don't care enough. Episode 6, the traditional unicorn sleepover. So I would say nothing fucking happens in this episode and that the girls just have a sleepover with Misty while she tries to take the lantern back to Opaline. But they reveal a very, very important plot detail, not only to Friendship is Magic, but to this series, to My Little Pony Gen 5 as a whole. Why wasn't the whole series like this? It's still stupid. So directly right after Generation 4, 2 ponies got into an argument and Twilight's big brain idea was to take all the magic in the world, essentially, and put it into 3 crystals. The other races then hated this idea and couldn't hang with each other, so then they just went in their own separate ways, and that's how we got here to this generation of My Little Ponies? Holy shit, this is stupid. Episode 7, Who'f Done It? In this episode, the gang tries to find the lantern that's missing all of a sudden. I wonder who took it. Oh, it must have been the new unicorn you invited to your house last night, who hid it in the garden. Nah, it couldn't be her, right? So then Pip finds the lantern in the garden, but then instead of giving it to Zip and everybody yelled saying that, hey, it's cool guys, I found the lantern, she doesn't because it would ruin Zip's fun of being a detective for once. What? What the fuck? Do you now see why this is one of the worst characters in this show? So near the end of the episode, Pip then apologizes to Zip saying, hey, I am sorry that I hid this lantern that's really important to you, but you know, I wanted you to have fun. Fucking end me. And finally, the last episode of Chapter 2, have you seen this dragon? Oh, I've seen this dragon, alright. I want to see a big bad dragon inserted into my anus after seeing this show. Yeah, I fucking said it. Quote me, fuckers. Fucking quote me. This shit is so ass that I'd rather have a big bad dragon dildo inserted into my butt before I ever have to watch the show again. Opaline then sends Misty back to Maritime Bay to capture the baby dragon, Sparky, so that way she can power up and get her alicorn powers back. The whole episode is just basically everybody looking for Sparky. It's essentially a copy of the last episode, but this time it's about Sparky the baby dragon. God, I can't care enough. After realizing Sparky won't go with Misty, Misty then decides to capture Sparky's dragon breath and retreats back to Opaline. The gang then finds Sparky. I don't care. The gang then smile and laugh, and then the episode just fucking ends. Let's just get to the final thoughts and get this video over with. Look, I'm gonna make it short and sweet for y'all this time. I'm exhausted. Not only am I exhausted about talking about this show, but this franchise as a whole. I shit you not when I say this is by far the worst thing I've ever had to review on this channel so far. I'm being 100% honest with you. I'm not fucking kidding. This shit was so bad. The movie was fine and everything, but when it got to the show, the fucking show is so bad. There is nothing of value in this show. And if it is, it's buried beneath so much garbage, pandering, obnoxious, terrible writing. Look, I don't want to rag on something that's not finished yet because new episodes are coming out supposedly later this year. So maybe I'll talk about it when the new batch of episodes comes out. I don't know. Oh yeah, there was also a Christmas special. It sucks. It's a Christmas special. Who cares? Nothing fucking happens in it anyway. So yeah, it's just bad. There's nothing else to say. This show is just bad. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the new My Little Pony Generation 5 as a whole. It sucks. That's it. I don't know how to end this video. What if Ken Carson was a dinosaur? Feet.